Hi, guys. Welcome back. January 19th is D-Day for TikTok.
TikTok might restructure, but it ain't going anywhere. So they might restructure the business, like who literally owns it and who doesn't. So they might restructure it to the point where no foreign agency really owns it. Somebody with US credentials, I guess, owns it. Pay attention, okay? Donald Trump is business, okay? The new administration is going to save TikTok. They're going to rescue TikTok because TikTok is not only a social platform, it's big e-commerce.
Okay, let's make a deal. We'll have Donald Trump save TikTok if you guys all agree to never vote for Democrats again. Next.
So, question for you. For all of us that are on TikTok, obviously it's like a different platform with a different vibe. I always say like all my shit is cringe on here because I'm just so raw and don't edit anything and I let you see every part of my life. Whereas like I use Instagram, which cross posts to Facebook as like more my business profile. So there you're going to see executive coach and all the like professional stuff. And I really keep it focused on tools and tips to help executives increase their performance and happiness. But over here, like I'm talking to y'all about everything. I'm talking to you about IVF and my clothes and my kids and like stupid shit. And I'm just wondering, where are we going? Are we going to just like start doing our cringe content on Instagram and I'll move over there? Or what are we going to do now?
So if you're a creator on TikTok, maybe you could share with us down in the comments below what your game plan is. It sounds like some creators are trying to get you to follow them on some of their other social media sites. That might be a smart way to go.
So I saw a guy do a TikTok. I saw the TikTok this morning, and he was talking about TikTok getting banned, in like 6 weeks on January 19th. And he was like, everybody just chill, man. Just go into your location settings, set your location to Canada. Go into your Apple store and set your location to Canada. Delete the app, do those things, and then re-download the app, and your phone will think that you're in Canada. I know nothing about technology, but I do have a VPN on my phone. I'm not quite sure what it's supposed to do.
Do any of you guys know if the VPN would work if what he's saying is true? You get rid of the app off your phone, and then you download it using your VPN, showing that you're in Canada or Germany or somewhere else. If you're a creator and this is your plan, what happens when they pay you in Canadian dollars? Are you able to switch that over to US currency real easily? Is that even something that would happen? Let me know if you guys know.
I don't know. People who know something about tech, is that something we could do? Just delete the app from our phones, switch all our locations to Canada, download the app again, and then everything will be fine?
Only if you take a citizenship
Is it
test.
really going to be that simple? Is that possibly something that APAC didn't think of when they bought the votes of every U.S. congressperson and every United States senator who got this bill from birth through committee, introduced on the floor, passed the House, passed the Senate, signed by the president? All that happened in 8 days because it was APAC. It's got jack shit to do with China.
Yeah, but here's my question. When you monetize on TikTok, I assume you have to give them some information regarding your American Social Security number, right? Tax identification information. I don't know how that would work in Canada because you still have to give Canada your American address unless everybody has a way to get a Canadian address out there. Next.
Guys, where are we going after this? After TikTok fails or whatever, like where are we going? Where can I find you guys? Like I just got started. I mean, I've been on this app since 2021 and I met so many awesome people, but like where are we going? I can't lose y'all. Like I'm looking at YouTube. Do I do YouTube?
Of course.
It's a totally different dynamic, but you see, this is the thing. This is
You'd
the
be
thing.
good.
I'm a Taurus. So when I get fixed in some shit, it's very hard for me to like do something else. Is this really happening? Is this really happening?
This is what the University of Texas fans are going to say after my ASU Sun Devils beat them in Georgia for the Peach Bowl. Can I get an amen?
I thought that we could maybe all come together and like manifest like something that this doesn't happen, but damn, this is happening.
It is.
Come on. I've had the most amazing time on this app.
And I have good news. My gut is never wrong, and it's telling me that in the final hour, something will happen and there will be a stay that's allowed, and it'll be delayed for like another year. So you're fine. Keep working.
Hey, everybody. Good morning. So, hey, what are your thoughts, excuse me, on this TikTok thing? I defer to you and value your opinions. And I have this little tiny sliver of the internet, and I'd like to know what you would like to see me do, and what are your thoughts on it? Where are you going? And I don't think TikTok's actually going to go away. I think it's going to change ownership, and I think whoever buys it will greatly dictate who stays on this app. So I don't know. I just don't know what to make of it, and I value your opinion. I love this community we have started, and so I want to hear from you.
So what she says is what's going to happen. They're going to change ownership, but then you're going to find out 3 years down the road that China didn't go anywhere because they're already on all of our phones.
I know this is the biggest question everyone has right now, so let's talk about it. Jim Jam says, what's the plan if TikTok goes down? I truly believe it's not going anywhere. I think that if anything, someone inside the US will buy it and it will stay here. I'm not worried about that. But since people want to talk about it, let's talk about it real quick. We also have Facebook, Instagram, Lemonade, YouTube, Pinterest. There's so many social media platforms to market on. Snapchat. You guys are sleeping on Snapchat when literally there's so much going on over there. So there's so many other social medias that you can market on. But honestly, don't worry about TikTok. I don't think it's going anywhere.
Yeah, I have a backup plan. Notice that here her reply or her little message here says reply to Jim Jam's comment. That would be my dad's name.
So basically, if TikTok gets banned in the United States, you can use a VPN and set your VPN's location in a different country to still use TikTok as long as TikTok is available in that country. But the problem is it will push your videos out, or it will grab videos from the location where your VPN is located instead of being from the United States. So hear me out on this one. We, the people in the United States, need to collectively pick a country, province, city that we're going to put our VPNs at, so that we can all still get United States content. I'm taking suggestions in the comments.
Yeah, that's going to be challenging. Whenever you guys try to do something iffy and wrong, a lot of times it comes back to bite us. So just keep that in mind.
Did you know that US lawmakers have told Apple and Google to be ready to remove TikTok on January 19th? It's official. TikTok's appeal got denied. I really don't know what else they can do besides selling a portion of the company to somebody else so it's not fully owned. I don't know. There's a lot of things around it. So it leads me to the next question of where are we going? We cannot give up this form of social media. It's brought a lot of people together and shows that we're not really different. I've seen a lot of people talking about the Neptune app. So I went on their website and I'm just kind of looking to see what the app is like. We'll have to see how this goes, but they got a customizable algorithm, ghost metrics, seamless monetization, community-centric experience. We'll just have to see. Neptune, maybe?
Do you guys think that if all of a sudden we got rid of all of social media, obviously we would be butthurt and depressed for a year, maybe two? But I think in the long run, we would actually be happier. Let me know if you think I'm nuts for thinking that.
Two questions. Did we all just forget that TikTok was going to be banned? Because I know that I did. And the federal court just ruled that it will be banned indefinitely on January 19th. And so my second question is, where are we all going if TikTok is no longer an option?
Where are you guys going? I imagine we go back to work.
So now with TikTok's appeal rejected and we are 100% losing TikTok, I just need you to remember something. The people that said TikTok is a threat to us use it themselves. They used it during their campaigns to get us to vote for them. They get to use TikTok when it benefits them, but when it starts to benefit us and help us, they take it away. The US government does not care about us. They want to control us.
He's trying to tell you that the politicians we vote for on both sides of the aisle are hypocrites. But we already knew that.
Raise your hand if you are burnout from TikTok or Vlogmas or whatever. Me, I am. This is like 2 weeks straight of vlogging. I don't know how these people do vlogs every day because it's making me go crazy and I'm kind of ready for a break. So I think this is going to be the last day that I do my little fitness challenge. I just need a break. Anyone else feel me?
Okay, so there must be at least a couple of us that feel the way she does. You actually think this is going to be a blessing in disguise? Have you been kind of burning yourself out on TikTok and not realizing it? Sometimes you get away from something for a while and you realize how bad that something was. Just ask an ex of somebody's.
TikTok going away in January. Do y'all really believe that TikTok is going away in January?
No.
In the middle of creating content on the fly, I got this random idea since TikTok is likely going bye-bye anyway. For the next few days, I'm literally going to be walking around with my phone in my hand, saying anything that comes to mind that I think will be of help. And I'm going to post and post and post. And then download to the app that removes the TikTok watermark, because worst case scenario, what you can do right now is just play. Just experiment, say the things that you've been wanting to say, download it and save it and either repost it onto another platform without the watermark or use it to see how it could inspire you for future content. And I mean, I'm playing with all different lengths. I'm remaining somewhat close to my niche, which is essentially success and business mindset. But I mean, if you look at it, it's kind of like the scenario where it's like, if the world were going to end tomorrow, like, what would you do? And it's like, no, not what would I do? Like, what wouldn't I do?
Oh, I like her idea on that. If there's only a couple more weeks here at TikTok, TikTok, why don't you use your imagination and experiment in ways that you've always wanted to do but held back from? There's no penalty.
I can't believe there's people happy because TikTok is supposed to be banned. I lost my job this year, and thanks to TikTok, I've been able to put food on my table for my kids. But not just me, I can go tomorrow and find a job, which I would try not to. Let me tell you why. I have I don't have any problem to find a job. My problem is that as a mom, the reason why I started creating content is because I was tired to leave my kids or being the last kids to pick up in a school or a daycare. And unfortunately, when you work for somebody else, they don't give a shit about your personal life. But not just me, let's just forget about me. Have we think about the people there, when they put a video and they need to pay for the cancer treatment or anything, and we stay for the video because we want to support them? There's not any other app out there that does the things that TikTok does. So before you get happy because somebody else have to go back to a normal life, think about the people that need the money to pay for basically their life, because that's all they have.
She brings up a great point. There's a lot of haters out there that don't realize that when you take away things like TikTok, you're literally changing people's lives, in the creator's case, for the worse. And whenever you wish bad on people, I'm telling you, it has a way of coming back on you. Not really, but you know what I mean.
Content creator girlies who are freaking out about the TikTok ban, let's chat because I'm also freaking out. What are we doing? Signed up for the beta testing of the Neptune app and I'm really excited. I feel like they have a really cool foundation and I'm really excited to see it take off. But TikTok's really gonna be banned? Like, they denied the appeal? I could not be freaking out more about that. I don't know. Do I get a camera and start YouTube immediately? Do I just wait on Neptune? Oh my god. My boyfriend just keeps telling me, just wait. What is for you will come and find you. And okay, great. I love his positivity, but me, I don't know what to do. It's literally all I do. This is my job. And I do work remotely for an agency, but that agency is also a TikTok agency. So they will also I don't even know what their plan is. This is really what happens when, you focus on social media only, and it's a threat and a risk and all of the things combined. I don't know, questions, comments, does anybody have anything to say about this?
No, I guess my thought is, if China is already on our phones, and if they can already read our texts and they can probably read our emails as well, then it seems to me like the idea of them being able to steal information and use it against you because of this app seems kind of overplayed, because it sounds like our government's already let us down when it comes to our phones. So with that being said, let's talk about some other stuff. Go get your shoes. Come with me for a walk. listeners, happy day after Christmas. Today is Christmas for me. I just got back from visiting with my daughter and my son-in-law and my granddaughter, and my God, I just had the absolute best Christmas this year. Yesterday, I was arguing with Texas Longhorn fans all day long and having a ball doing it. Guys, Texas is a major favorite over ASU, and people talk a lot about draft picks and how talented Texas is, but you want to know something? When it comes down to winning a football game, sometimes you just feel like you've got the better weapons, and that's really what football's all about. Who's got the better weapons? And I'm telling you, this running back and this quarterback we have for ASU are probably the best weapons in all of college football. I don't care what Boise State says. Guys, I have a fun 12 factoids about Christmas that I think you're gonna really enjoy, because as I was going over them myself, I thought, oh, that's kind of interesting. So I have a feeling you'll like this one. And the very first one, I'm gonna go ahead and dedicate to Mala, because it comes to us from Boston. Guys, Christmas was once illegal. From 1659 to 1681, it was banned in Boston, Massachusetts by the Puritans, who considered it a sinful celebration. The reason I dedicate that first one to Mala is because, Mala, I believe you live in that area of the country now, and I know that you've probably spent quite a bit of time there throughout your life. So I just wanted you to know that if it were up to those Puritans from your neck of the woods, Christmas would still be illegal. Thank goodness we don't listen to the Puritans. By the way, I've heard my whole life 2 different stories about Christmas. Number one, you hear Jesus is the reason for the season and it's better to give than receive. And then you hear the other people that say, man, this is a corporate holiday all about selling products and it's about anything but Jesus. So I can totally see where the Puritans were coming from, and the whole idea of giving gifts and stuff can really kind of seem unnecessary, because it's really about being together and it's about celebrating the birth of Christ, right? But either way, I like giving gifts. When you buy somebody something and you give it to them, you could just be buying it because, hey, I got to buy everybody a gift, right? Or you can really put some thought behind it. This was one of those years where with my coworkers and stuff, I really tried to put a lot of thought behind my gifts this year. In the past, I was guilty of, hey, I got to spend $10 on a gift for a coworker. I think we've all been there, right? But this year I actually said, you know what? I enjoy my coworkers. I enjoy everyone in my life. Let me at least try to put a little thought behind the gifts. And that's the key. It's the thought that counts. Fact number 2, Jingle Bells wasn't a Christmas song. It was originally written for Thanksgiving in 1857 by James Lord Pierpont. Now this is interesting. Imagine you go back in our Venter's time machine, right, to the year 1858, a year after he created this song. You would have to go to his neck of the woods, because I'm sure it took a couple decades to spread out amongst the whole country. But imagine singing that song straight off of the time capsule, and imagine people looking at you funny because, hey, that was for last month for Thanksgiving. Why are you singing this here at Christmas time? Get with the times. And by the way, you can almost imagine how that slowly but surely evolved from a Thanksgiving song in the latter part of November, and people probably started singing it post-Thanksgiving. If you sing it 1 or 2 days after Thanksgiving, it still sounds pretty Thanksgiving-y. But if all of a sudden you're starting to sing that 2-3 weeks after Thanksgiving, you could see how slowly but surely through time, it became more synonymous with Christmas. By the way, what's really cool about Christmas songs is whether it's Jingle Bells or Jingle Bell Rock or Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer or whatever the song might be, so many of us love Christmas songs, and many of us have our own individual favorite. So while I love Jingle Bell Rock and I love Jingle Bells, I think my favorite Christmas song is probably Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. I always love that song. If you guys don't mind, let me know your favorite Christmas song down below. And we have 1 or 2 stations here in Arizona that from Thanksgiving till New Year's, they play nothing but Christmas songs. If you're one of these folks that this time of the year you have Christmas songs playing all the time, that's your own personal tradition, share that with me down below, please. Number 3, Santa has a postal code. This one's dedicated to Lily because in Canada, you can send a letter to Santa at H0H0H0 and he'll actually send you back a reply. How cool is that? Apparently Santa is tired of America's crap too, and he's decided to move from Santa Claus, Santa Claus, Wisconsin or Ohio, and he's decided to move up to Canada. I don't blame you, big guy. I don't blame you at all. He only replies to Americans, Jesse. I know, Bob, I know. He loves Americans a little bit more than the rest of the world. It's just the way it is. I'm sorry it's that way. This one was kind of trippy. Whenever somebody says how tall something is in feet, I always like to convert it into a football field, so I'll divide it by 3. So the tallest Christmas tree ever was the 221-foot Douglas fir displayed in Seattle, Washington in 1950. So if we take 221 feet and divide it by 3, that's a 70-yard Christmas tree. That thing must have looked fantastic. And if I can find a picture of it, I'm going to try to place it right here, right now. Maybe you can let me know down below if it looks spectacular. I might even fool you and just show you a giant tree. Oh, by the way, me and my daughter and my son-in-law, we actually played pickleball today. Guys, I thought it was a lot of fun, and I don't want to sound like an old fogey, but there's a piece of me that wants to go start playing pickleball a little bit more in the future. If any of you guys, Merry Christmas, guys. If any of you guys have decided to play pickleball or at least try it recently, let's talk about that. Is it as much fun as I had? Or is it one of those things where after a while you're like, I'm done? Because sometimes games are like that, right? You're like, hey, I played such and such for an hour and now I'm done for the rest of my life, you know. But pickleball really seemed kind of chill. Wasn't nearly as much running as I thought it would be. And I just thought it was hella relaxing. So if you're looking for something to do as you get a little bit older, you want to Kaizen up from just walking every day, contemplate pickleball. And Sean, let me know if you've ever tried pickleball. Same with all the others listening. When you're looking at a Christmas tree and you got the tinsel on it, sometimes that tinsel looks like liquid silver. Looks really, really pretty, doesn't it? Well, guys, tinsel was originally made from real silver. In the 1600s, tinsel was made with actual silver strips, which apparently tarnished pretty easily. Now, I don't know about you, but I like the way silver and gold look, right? I even like the way copper looks. Sometimes I'll go online and I'm like, maybe I should buy myself a copper, bar or a silver bar. But for some reason, I've never gotten into that. And I know they say, hey, at the end of the world, you need to invest in silver or gold. But my thinking is, imagine if you had some actual physical gold on you and it was the end of the world. Pretty soon you're going to be handing people a, $1,000 piece of gold, a gold coin, for a loaf of bread. So I don't even know if it's the best thing to be handing out at the end of the world. Could you imagine? Hey, where'd you get that gold coin? I got it from that fellow over there. And all of a sudden you got 1 million people at your house trying to get your last gold coin so they can buy bread too. Just seems kind of crazy. Some of the things we argue about don't make sense. For example, doomsday preppers. I think it sounds great, right? You have all this food and you have all this ammunition and you have this bug out plan. Like, hey, we're going to leave our houses. We're going to go out in the woods. Well, all you're doing is you're leaving a perfectly good shelter that's already in the woods. Think about it. If you take away our utilities and stuff, we're all already in the woods. Why not fill your pool with water that it already has and siphon water out of your pool, right? You got your own little lake there. And then you could hunt birds, and you could probably breed kittens and cats and dogs for food if you had to. I mean, I'm thinking really grisly end of the world stuff here. But imagine this. Imagine you leave your home, you go out in the woods thinking you've got the best bug out place known to man or not known to man. And before you know it, everybody is your neighbor out in the woods where they're actually shooting at things and trying to hunt. It just seems to me like a bad idea. Does it sound like a bad idea to you? My thinking is, if it's the end of the world, just stay in your house. All right, number 6. Guys, Xmas isn't new. The X comes from the Greek letter chi, which is the X itself. It's the first letter of Christ. So Xmas is actually shorthand, and it dates all the way back to the 1500s. But you know what? I come from a slower time. I come from a time where we didn't have the internet in everybody's hands, right? We didn't have cell phones all everywhere, right? And so little interesting factoids, those things are actually interesting to me. I know there's some people that already turned off the video 10 or 15 minutes ago, but you know what? You're missing out on some fun Christmas facts. Or boring Christmas facts, depending on how you look at it. Number 7. Guys, this one's crazy. Christmas wasn't a federal holiday in the U.S. until 1870. And get this, Alabama was the first state to declare it a holiday in 1836. So, if you always wonder why the heck do the Alabama Crimson Tide win so damn much, it's because they love Santa more than anybody else in the country. It's kind of interesting. You wondered why the heck their color is crimson red. It's probably to do with Santa Claus. I don't know if that's true or not. There's this guy and a gal, and they're sitting at a park bench. And the guy looks over and he notices that the girl has a Crimson Tide t-shirt on. And he says, "Oh, you went to Alabama." And she goes, "Yes, sir, I sure did. I went to the University of Alabama. Go Bama, roll Tide." And then she looks over at him and she sees that, he doesn't have a college type shirt on. He's just in a suit and tie. And she goes, "Well, where did you go to college?" And he goes, "Yale." And she goes, "Where did you go to college?" I thought it was a good joke. If you're from Alabama, I'm not saying you guys are dumb. I'm just saying I'm tired of your football team. That's all I'm saying. Number 8, Norway gives a Christmas tree to the UK annually. Oslo gives a tree to London's Trafalgar Square as thanks for support during World War II. I think that's a good little story there, right? You know, if we didn't have the Allies back then, if everybody just said, well, I'm not going to worry about what Hitler's doing to you, I'm just going to mind my own business. And before you know it, Hitler's taken over every country in the world. Sometimes you have to say enough is enough. That's why when I tell you guys, let's have empathy for victims, it's because everybody wants people to support and help them when they're the victim, but they don't realize how much they ignore victims. And I think we're all kind of guilty of that. We should want to help people that deserve justice. And number 9, in the 19th century, which is the 1800s, Germany, green-dyed goose feathers were used to create artificial trees. So believe it or not, fake Christmas trees come all the way from the 1800s. I gotta be honest with you guys. I'm one of those guys, especially when I had kids and I was married. I like the idea of an artificial tree. I know, Jesse, of course your whining butt would like an artificial tree. I know, sorry to disappoint you guys. I just like the artificial tree. Have we had real trees through the years? Yes, I just hate having to dispose of them afterwards. Pain in the butt. better just to fold it back up and stick it back in the hall closet till next year. If you're with me and you like the occasional artificial tree, or if you go really cheap and you buy one of those Charlie Brown Christmas trees from places like Walmart or Big Lots, let me know down below. You're not the only cheapo out there. That goes for me too. The world's most expensive Christmas tree, on the other hand, was a $15 million tree in Marbella, Spain, and it was decorated with diamonds and precious stones back in 2019. God, that's amazing. I wonder if they used lab-grown diamonds, because if they used lab-grown diamonds, then even though it might cost 15 million, its resale value would only be 1 million. I've heard that about lab-grown diamonds. Am I wrong on that? I've heard that when you buy them fresh, or whatever you want to call them, they're just as expensive and just as real as real diamonds. But when you try to sell them used, for some reason they lose all their value. So what's that tell you? It tells you something's goofy with the diamond industry. For them to be able to grow them in a lab, still charge you the full price, and then when you go to resell them, they're not worth nothing? That sounds about right, doesn't it? Santa's outfit, get this, wasn't always red. This is the craziest fact here. Would you guys believe it? If the only reason you, me, and everybody else has grown up with Santa in a red uniform, just like this Mickey here, the only reason is because of Coca-Cola? Right now you're saying, get out of here, Jesse, but it's true. Santa's outfit wasn't always red. Early depictions showed him in various colors like green and blue until, get this, Coca-Cola popularized his red suit in the 1930s. So this means my grandma, who was born in 1924, when she was 5 years old, if she went down anywhere back in the day to buy a Santa, there's a good chance he probably was wearing green, blue, white, maybe red. But it wasn't until the 1930s, when Coca-Cola started putting him in their ads, that he started wearing red. And if you think about it, his red and white outfit does resemble the Coca-Cola logo. Now, I want you to tell me down in the comments that Coca-Cola one really amazed you, because let's be honest, nobody knew that. A lot of us deny that we're influenced by commercials and ads, myself included. I used to say, hey, people don't really care about commercials that bad. But think about it. Everybody and their brother, if you told them to draw a picture of Santa Claus, they would all draw that same red and white with black suit. That's because of Coca-Cola. That's crazy. Some countries eat KFC for Christmas. For example, in Japan, KFC is a popular Christmas meal thanks to a 1974 ad campaign there from KFC. Families in Japan pre-order their chicken buckets weeks in advance. Could you imagine that? Is that crazy? Let's be honest, KFC is delicious every day of the year. If you're going to celebrate it with family, that's really what it's all about. I don't care if you want to celebrate Christmas with pizza. Just do it with your friends and family and people that you care about, and it's a winning situation. I hear in Hawaii, the national meal of Hawaii, or the state meal of Hawaii, I hear is Spam. They love Spam and eggs out there. Where you and I think, oh my God, Spam, that's a punishment. Out there, they love it. They pay top dollar for that junk. But you want to know something? If it's traditional, if it's something that you loved eating with your grandma or grandpa, and you eat it with your family, man, I don't blame them. Eat Spam and eggs until your heart bursts with joy. Or cholesterol, one of the two. Sometimes you hear these facts, and they are a little mind-blowing. You learn what you learn in this world. Some of the stuff you learn goes in one ear and out the other, but some of the stuff sticks. And in the future, who knows, maybe when you're talking to your grandson or your granddaughter, you can, next time you see Santa, you can say, hey, blame Coca-Cola for that. And they'll be like, what are you talking about? His fatness? Yeah, blame Coca-Cola for that too, but I'm talking about his get up. He should be in white, green, or blue. The only reason he's in red is because that infernal Coca-Cola. But we all love Coca-Cola. I would argue that we love Coca-Cola more than Christmas. I could be wrong, but I think we do. Could you guys imagine if Chihuahuas were like the size of, I don't know, a giant dog, like a Great Dane, but a Chihuahua? Oh my God, that would be the scariest animal ever. They would even have a name for it. They would call it the Great Chihuahua. And the Great Chihuahua would be able to bite off fingers 4 at a time instead of just 1 at a time. And I think if a Chihuahua could bite off your finger, I think it would. God, I'm scared of Chihuahuas. Chihuahuas are the absolute nightmare of dogs. You would almost rather have a dog lunge at you and try to bite your arm than a Chihuahua get a hold of your fingers, you know? It's just very scary. And could you imagine if a Chihuahua got a hold of your nose? Oh my God, the torture. The torture. Hey, how's it going? Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
But what we're gonna do is a 90-day challenge starting on the 1st. It'll take us through March. And hopefully during that time, we'll all lose a good 20 to 30 pounds together. If you're with me, just simply type TWMGO, the walk must go on. Or you can just type in, I'm here with you, Jesse, let's do this. To Arizona Raccoon, you've been watching more and more and leaving comments. I appreciate you, buddy. I hope you guys all had a Merry Christmas. Let's have a Happy New Year together and let's do it in style. I'll see you tomorrow.